Hey, welcome on back to the AnKorage where everything is awesome, and we are going to do a little crafting. So we have a little something here. I happen to have some spray paint. This is matte coffee brown. I also have chalkboard paint. So there's that. I also have this. I just had to buy this because I'm going to need it for this project. This is a like a tailor's measuring tape, sewing type stuff. But I need this, and I'll show you why in a second. I also have this little guy. I'll talk about that in a minute. But what we're going to do is we're going to do some retrofying. What are we going to retrofy? Well, essentially, let me tell you about this guy. Now, what a lot of people do in my building, and more than likely in all of the other buildings, is when they have something that they don't want anymore, but let's say if it's electric or something like that, and it happens to still work just fine, and they don't either need or don't want it anymore, what they'll do is we have an entranceway in the building, and it's a pretty good amount of space. So what they'll do is they'll bring it down and they'll throw it on the floor along the wall, and anybody who happens to want it can go ahead and take it. So it's kind of like a form of free cycling, or paying it forward or whatever. I don't know. So about 2 weeks ago or so, I was walking past and I happened to see this. And I'm like, all right, so I might be able to do something with that, namely content for the channel. So here we go. It also, I thought about it, and I'm like, yeah, I could do a video, and I could actually get some use out of it during the winter time, to circulate air in this room. And so the idea that I had was retrofying it. So this is why I need this tape, this measuring tape, because what I'm going to be doing is, well, I'm going to clean everything first, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure the outer perimeter of this to get the length. And what we're going to do is I have some wood grain contact paper of a nice shade of, I'm going to say walnut, although it may not be exact. But the idea is to basically wrap this outer housing in that. And then as far as the spray painting goes, the fan blades, those are going to get the coffee bean, and then the grates, and this outer hardware is going to get the chalkboard. So just imagine that, it's going to be, wood, a faux wood outer finish around the housing, black, and then coffee bean. I think it's a great design. I see it in my head and I'm like, that is actually really good. So what I have to do is I actually have to take this all apart and take all of this hardware off, give it all a wash, clean it up, and even the cord is going to be retrofied to an extent. It's probably just going to be getting some wear and aging on it. I'll be doing that with probably I might use the coffee paint or whatnot, but I'm going to create a wash and I'm going to basically rub it on here. So the weather forecast for the spray painting, not good. I looked at the forecast earlier, and we're expecting rain and high humidity, and it doesn't look good for spray painting. So at least what I can do is I can do the washing of the parts and get the wrap put on the outer casing. So I'm going to do that today, and you know, on another day, next 2 days are going to be rainy, so I'm going to get this all cleaned up, do my initial wrap, stuff like that, keep all the parts aside over there where I've been keeping it, and we'll do the spray painting on another day. So why don't we get started on this edition of Craft Quest. Okay, so here are the feet that are on it. Now, why would someone want to get rid of this fan? It works perfectly fine. I think it might be because of one of these feet. These are just the feet that are used to, you know, hold it up, keep it steady when it's standing. But if we were to turn it around, this piece of plastic here has been broken off. Now, that could be the very reason why they decided to get rid of it, because it doesn't hold. There's, all you need is a little hot glue to kind of fix that a little bit. But, it's, I mean, I can't say that, this is the exact reason why they decided to get rid of it. They may have decided to have, bought a room air conditioner. But in this town, things like that, people are that petty. They'd get rid of the fan because that little piece of plastic is gone. They're that petty. And in this town, maybe even this condo complex, maybe even this building, I can't say. I don't know. But given the functionality that everything is working and everything like that, initial looks, yeah, it's a cynical look, but it can also be very accurate that the person would have gotten rid of the fan because that piece is broken. Can't put it past them in this town. But, like I was saying, maybe they bought a room air conditioner. Could have been. So, either way, why don't we get started? Alright, and what I'm doing here is I'm taking a little sanding block and I'm going to rub it around on the outside of this, just to score it, and that will allow the paint something to grab onto. So why don't we do that? And just as a quick little note, I'm not actually painting it. This is to allow the contact paper something to grab onto a little easier. The rest of it I can't really paint because A, it doesn't really need it. It's textured already. I don't have to worry about it. So I'm just going to do this to allow the contact paper to grab on a little easier. So there will be a little bit of dust, but, work hazards. What dust? Okay, so now that that sanding is done, I can actually go ahead and get this thing measured. So here's the measuring tape. Well, it's too short. It's 60 inches, and apparently 60 inches is not long enough. What I've done here is I took it down to the floor over there, and I measured out 80 inches from my roll, and I've got it all right here. And then for the width, it doesn't have to be more than 5 inches, so there's a lot extra here. So I will basically take this, start it up on the end, and then work my way around the casing, and I'll trim off the excess. Not working. I want to lay out the whole roll and just take it all up and then just trim off all the excess. Well, it's too dark, so that's it for today. Talk to you later. Okay, it's been a few days, and I went ahead and I took care of my spray painting. We've had a few nice clear days, hot. So I've spray painted the parts. So this was white. This is the fan blade. It was white, and now it is a matte coffee brown. And I spray painted the grates. These are in a black chalkboard. So that's that. And I opted against doing the wood contact paper for the metal case. Basically, I changed my mind on that, and I've gone with the same matte coffee brown from the fan for the actual metal case. So, still gonna look mid-century modern. It just won't have the wood look on it. Might I actually do a like accent strips? I probably not. Because again, I gotta measure, I gotta cut, and all that, and it might not be absolute center because, I would have to go and measure, precise measurements. So, we are going to put this back together now. And one last note is on the actual motor. This is it here, and I was gonna do a wash over the cord itself to kind of give a little bit of aging. However, I've decided against it, and I'm not going to bother with that. So, to give it that nice, clean, mid-century modern look. So, we're going to do that. So, we are going to go ahead and we are going to put this back together. And just a quick hi to Strawberry. So, hey, how you doing? And we will get started on this. So, let's do that. now we get to give it a test. Here it is in all of its mid-century modern glory. We've got the black, we've got the coffee bean, we've got the black accents up top with the handle and the knob. I've got the little feet right here. I'm going to be taking care of this off camera. They just attach into the back. So they just slide in and it provides that tip over stability. So, but you know, for this piece, I don't have to worry about that. I can just go ahead and give it a test and we'll see if it runs. So why don't we check it out? All the levels seem to work and air flows. Alright, so there we go. So, yeah, this was a fun project. It wasn't exactly a fast project, but it was a project nonetheless. Got this thing for free out in the hallway, and you know, somebody was just getting rid of it, and more than likely because of that one little piece, which is this little guy right here, little piece of this foot happened to break off. They probably got rid of it because of that. I could be wrong, but in this town, I wouldn't put it past them. A lot of people here are that petty. But, you know, I can't say one way or the other, so there we go. So, this fan is now completely done and is going to be used in this room to circulate air during the wintertime. In the meantime, I'll probably just keep it under the futon, out of the way, stuff like that. You know, it will more than likely accumulate dust on the blades and on the screens and stuff like that. Easy fix with a vacuum. Just take the grate off, take the vacuum, stick it in there, suck it up, whatever. That's perfectly fine. So that was this project. So thank you very much for coming along, Skál. And I don't have my drink. It's up there. But you want to drink to victory because I won. This is mine.